Greetings. Hello, everyone. And thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of B. But look, before we get started, Anchor. Have you heard of Anchor? It is a fabulous tool to help you get started as a podcaster. Now, look, if you're new to this field, Anchor helps you get the word out. They'll distribute your podcast. They make it easy for you. You know what? You can just download the free Anchor app, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started. And that's ANCHOR.F as in Frank, M as in Mary to get started. You want to start today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, greetings, podcast listeners, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of B. So today, I've got my beautiful, gorgeous, smart, intelligent, witty, funny, dancing makeup artist becoming niece on the podcast. And so I'm going to talk to her today about being happy. I just wanted to provide us a fresh, young perspective that would inspire all of us. So let's talk about Be Happy with Miss Aaryn. Greetings, podcast listeners. This is Christine, and I am so very excited to have a very wonderful guest today that makes me happy. My beautiful, wonderful, smart, intelligent, gorgeous niece, Miss Aaryn. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well, and I am excited. Thank you so much for coming on the B podcast.
You know I would do it.
Absolutely. So today we are talking about be happy. And, I had mentioned to you a little while ago that this was important to me. And I thought, to hear from your perspective about what it means to be happy would be something that I categorize as incredibly valuable, especially in this day and time. So, Aaryn, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am 17. Let's see. I like to do makeup, which, I like to do makeup a lot. That has become something I am very passionate about. Other than me doing cheer for the last 14 years. But pretty much those are my two things that I just am very passionate about doing. I keep up with that a lot.
Okay. So you keep up with the makeup, yes. And you guys, if you know my IG page, I'm telling you, you have seen my face via her because she is the bomb. She is the slayer, okay, of the makeup. And then you love cheer. Yes, I can remember back in the day when you was teeny tiny, coming in the house, maybe 3 or 4, had your cheerleading outfit on, cheering. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you were the cutest thing ever. What was some of the little cheers y'all used to do all around the world? You remember that?
Yes, I do.
How did it go?
Something like all around the world, you know what we do, something like that.
Yes, we are the Huskies. Is that enough for you or something like that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember those times and I loved each and every one of them. Fabulous. Absolutely. So I want to ask you, so, we're talking about the word happy, be happy. And so, Airy Berry, I want to ask you, what does the word happy mean to you?
Just to me, just doing whatever is for your best interest, whether it be going out every day, doing something, or staying in the house, just whatever makes you feel comfortable and content with yourself.
All right. So you're saying either going out or staying in the house, whatever makes you feel happy and content with yourself? Yes. Okay. I love that answer. Aaryn, can you give us a little bit more about what that actually means?
Yeah, well, some people are more introverted where they don't really necessarily like to be out on the scene all the time. Like sitting home watching Netflix, drinking a cup of coffee may be what they describe as what makes them happy, being cozy at home. Or you can have people who like to go out and be on different party scenes and all that type of stuff, or be around friends all the time. That makes them feel like I am happy. This is what I want to be.
Okay, absolutely. So they have to know themselves and know what it is that they like that brings them contentness. You said,
yeah, and
yes, go ahead.
Sometimes it can change. Like you could want to be in the house for weeks at a time, and then all of a sudden you realize, actually, I want to go out. I want to be around some of my friends, family, that type of deal. And me personally, I am like that. I go back and forth where sometimes I want to be to myself and sometimes I want to be out.
Right. I understand that is a part of life, and that is all of us. And so let me ask you, you said something about being content within yourself. Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where, Aaryn, do you think happiness comes from?
Happiness can come from a lot of different things. It can come from something, for some people, materialistic, or just being around your loved ones or friends and stuff like that. It could come from a lot of different places. It could come from just being around yourself or traveling, doing stuff that you like to do. Happiness can come from a lot of different places.
A lot of different places. That's good. I think, when we think about happiness, and, today's subject is be happy. There is a song, be happy, don't worry, be happy now. Do, 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 do. A lot of people know that song. That was way, child, look, before you was born, some 17 years ago. That was way before you. But be happy. I think happiness comes from a place of joy. And I think,
right.
You've got to be able to find joy. And joy is not something that is always external. And it's not always something that has to do with your situation or your circumstance kind of thing. I think, happiness comes from a deeper place. And so let me ask you, like, are you happy right now?
Right now, today, I am very happy.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, you know what? I am happy and more than thrilled that I get to talk to you. You're such a beautiful young lady, so smart, and you know how I feel about you, my airy boo. My young queen. That's what I call you, my young queen, because that is who you are. And so I would say for me right now, I am certainly happy and thankful to God for everything that He is doing in our lives. He's been faithful to us. He's been a keeper to our family. Your mom, my beautiful sister, and your aunties, and just everybody, all of us. And so I'm grateful for that. So here's my next question, Miss Aaryn. We're talking about be happy. Like, how have you been dealing or handling yourself during this pandemic?
Well, it's definitely been a challenge. There are days where it is a little bit harder, especially with my senior year, a lot of things that I am missing out on doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have picked up a few hobbies, to keep me occupied. I've got into astrology a little bit and about manifestation. I've gotten really interested in those types of things, reading up on that, and kind of taking a break from the other stuff I've normally done.
Right. Okay. So I love that. So astrology and manifestation, I do want to dig into that a little bit. And you said it's been challenging. I think for a lot of people, this pandemic has been incredibly challenging. And so you mentioned something that I had sent some notes to you about, like your senior year. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I remember my senior year, me and your auntie Kitty. Like, I remember our senior year, man, it was like bomb. Like you had all these different people that you were able to see. How are you dealing with that? Come on, give us the real, because I know a little background, but I need you to tell us, like, what's really going on.
Yeah. Okay. So initially, when I finished up junior year, I was not really too worried about it because things seemed like, maybe at some point they may start to transition back to normal. And I was sitting around, waiting on to kind of hear about what we're going to do about cheer and basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
So once the information about that was released, where cheerleaders would not be able to attend the basketball games as a team, it was a little heartbreaking because I've cheered for so long. That's all I've known.
Right.
And since I was in seventh grade at school, I cheered. So my senior year where I have a chance to be captain of the team, get to have my own senior night like all my other friends. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a chance to do that. So it was a little hard. But I mean, there's days still today like where it's like I'm doing my senior year from the computer where I should be at school with my friends, doing my senior breakfast and all that type of stuff, and we haven't done it. So, it's just a thing where you just kind of have to stay positive and think positive about it and not so just much stuck on what you can't do and think about the things that you're getting to do that others may not be able to do.
That is an excellent point. I love that. You talked about, staying positive and think on the things that you're getting to do. That is a privilege. I love that. Right. So let me ask you though, like, in your opinion, you are a very smart young lady, always has been, not only book smart, come on with it, but you are also like socially astute. Like, how do you think you stay positive? What do you do to maintain your positivity?
Well, especially me being 17 and not just teenagers, but I mean adults too. We are so busy on our phones, social media, all the different platforms. And I have learned to take myself away from those at least for a couple hours in the day. Because believe it or not, whether people want to believe it, it can be so draining, the different things that you see. And especially with the stuff that's going on right now in the world, like seeing all these different people that are losing their lives over a whole bunch of different stuff, like seeing that every day, all day, it can be so draining and like sad and all that. And having that type of energy around you, it affects your mood, whether you realize it or not.
Oh, yeah.
So I try to take breaks from social media and just do something else.
Absolutely. And you bring up an excellent point, because one of the things that we have talked about on the B podcast, it is all meant to inspire and honor you. And one of the things that I tell folks all the time is that, in order to maintain your peace, some sanity, all that, look, sometimes you got to shut it down, take a step back from the noise, the TV. And I love that about the social media because, it is noisy. Do you hear me? Every time you get on, you are scrolling, you are looking and hearing somebody else's mind, and everybody ain't in the same place. You know what I mean? So it's a la over here, and it's do over there, and it's over there. And so it's just a lot. I agree with you on that. I love that. So, I kind of asked you about some of the things that make you happy, and I love that. And so I would say some of the things that make me happy indeed is being around my family. You and I talk about the dances of the family and the beatboxers. What you say could come up with a song in a hot minute and it be fly. Definitely. Okay. So I love that. And so the things that make me happy, my family for sure, for certain. Then being able to just, go outside. Me and you have taken many walks in the park, here in Georgia, in the Carolinas, all of that. You know how we do. And so I love being outside. And so one of the things I would ask you before we wrap up today's quick episode, I just wanted the folks to hear another perspective, a young lady who is growing up and who is becoming a young adult in this world and in this time where we are facing a global pandemic. Like, how does she remain happy? So here is my thing. What piece of advice, Aaryn, would you give to people today about being happy?
Honestly, most people, it is a common thing to look for acceptance. And wonder what other people are going to think about how you feel about something. People have to get out of that mindset to stop trying to please other people and focus on, I know it may sound selfish, but to focus on what makes you happy, because when you're truly happy and you are content with how you feel and you feel good, that goes off on other people.
Right.
So to have a positive within yourself, it makes your days better and you make other people's days better, and it's easy to be around, all that type of stuff. So just honestly, my one advice to somebody would just be to, for this time, take time to focus on you and how you're feeling and get yourself okay. And because this stuff that's going on is really hard and challenging.
Yes.
So just focus on you a little bit more. And some people may feel like they have to focus on other people first, but if you don't focus on yourself first, you can't really take care of the people that you need to take care of because you're not there where you need to be mentally or physically or whatever. So, right. Yeah, just take care of you first.
Oh, girl, look, you make me so proud as your auntie. You act like you know something up in these quarantine streets. What? Okay, yes, yes, I absolutely love that. You are absolutely right, Aaryn, because, we have to take care of ourselves first. And it's not about pleasing other people. Your happiness is not in the hands of another man. And what I mean by that, I mean mankind. Your happiness is not in the hands of anyone else. It is your responsibility. And, you talked about taking care of you first before you can take care of anybody, like physically, financially, spiritually. And, when you get on the plane, one of the safety things they tell you is put your mask on first. In case we have to, you put yours on first, then you help your child, your neighbor, or whoever. Right? Right. So that principle is certainly what it takes to maintain. If you want to help somebody else, look, you help yourself first. And what I tell my listeners too, the scripture says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You first. And that's not a selfish thing. That is a sustaining thing. Amen?
Right.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Well, wow, Aaryn, this has been absolutely amazing. And my darling niece, I was going to call you my darling daughter. Yes, you are my darling daughter niece. I love you dearly. And I want you to hang on the line. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Be podcast. And Aaryn and I encourage you to be happy. Yes, absolutely. Have a great day, guys. Now, take care for your thoughts, heart, and mind, and be happy. You've got every single thing it takes to win. I am rooting for you. It's already inside of you. Learn to focus on you and take care of you, that joy that's on the inside of you. So keep buzzing in the world because we need you to be